Hey, Starseed, welcome to the month of February. This is your forecast, February 2020. Now, this month has a particularly unusual energy that's worth paying attention to. So, the obvious things first. Mercury will be going retrograde, yay. On February 12th. The whole week leading up to February 12th is going to be a little dicey. So mark your calendars, get your pencils out and your calendars. Mark your calendars from February 12th to February 17th. This is a good time to slow your roll, double check everything, have a plan B, and try not to initiate anything too important at this time. And if you do, make sure that you have a backup contingency plan in case you have to have a big do-over. So the month is going to start out on February 8th with, I'm sorry, this is from my eyeglasses. The month is going to start February 8th with a full moon at 20 Leo, while Venus is going into the sign of Aries. So we may expect a little lovey-dovey Valentine's Day activity, chase and pursuit, occurring much earlier than Valentine's Day this year. So that's pretty good. I'm not completely sure when Sadie Hawkins Day is, but if this is the month, we'll have to double check that. If this is the month for Sadie Hawkins Day, this is a great month for it. Now, as the month rolls along, we've got kind of a weird, tense vibe going. I'm not going to lie to you. So people are going to be feeling a little agitated, right? As if we couldn't feel any more agitated already. People are going to be feeling a little more agitated, but people are also going to be a lot more interested in turning on their love lights and, mating and dating and finding somebody to be in their corner. This could be a very spicy, sexy month for those of you who are, of the active variety. For those of you who are practicing ascetics that are, living in monasteries or nunneries somewhere and kind of taking the vow of no fun ever, this will just be an agitated month. So keep that in mind. So those of you who are out looking, this is a great month to get out there and look and to play with it, have some fun with it. For those of you who are in committed monogamous relationships, this is a great time to play some games with each other and not at each other's expense. So try to follow the old habits of being sarcastic and snarky with each other and really use this energy for something that stimulates and challenges you in the best ways in your relationship. Okay, now, dates I want you guys to watch out for. Get your pencils out. And remember, I want you to circle this in your calendar. So February 12th, Mercury will station retrograde at 12 Pisces. However, I'm sorry, the 17th. Mercury will station retrograde on the 17th. However, we will be feeling it as far back as the 12th. Now, around the 12th, ooh, yeah. That whole week from the 12th to the 17th, going to be full of surprises. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I can't tell what everybody's surprise is going to be, but definitely expect some magic to happen. So for those of you who practice esoteric things or visualizing or manifesting or prayer, whatever it is that you do to assist with crafting your reality, this whole week from the 12th to 17th is a magical time of manifestation. So you will have all of us will have that extra added oomph into making dreams become reality. So make sure you're thinking the right thoughts. For other people, this may just be a soft and gentling kind of time where we really, really feel like we want to be kinder, nicer people as a general thing. And that's always a good thing. So practice kindness and positive thoughts and really focus your thoughts on visualizing what you want to bring in, best possible outcomes. And leave it open for interpretation by the universe because they know better than we do. And you'll be amazed at the stuff that happens and transpires. A lot of divine intervention this month. A lot of divine intervention. So there's that. The other thing is, as we move through the month, and we're going through this now, we may find, because Mars is going to set up some challenging aspects in the second half of the month to Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, and Capricorn. And and Chiron is still in Aries. And Venus is back in Aries, right? And what that's going to do is it's going to bring back all the stuff we've been dealing with the last couple of years, which has a lot to do with this overwhelmingly forceful need to establish our identity and be heard and be visible. So this can be good and this can be bad. I mean, people need to be acknowledged and heard and seen. But there are some people who clearly just bring the whole weight of their existence into that one moment. So we're looking at a revisit to people who make mountains out of molehills, You know the personalities I'm talking about, usually on the keyboard on the internet, right? Um, Also, people who literally just want to argue about everything and will bring the whole weight of their ancestors to the argument because the the difference between a dill pickle and a kosher pickle is such an important thing. Like, this is a life or death argument. Oh my God. So for those of you who like to socialize in bars and other public outings where libations are flowing, I would really recommend staying out of those types of debates with people, because this last half of February, we're going to have those people who do not know how to back down and have to make everything, a monumental, like, life or death crisis argument. They're really going to be feeling their oats this month, especially in the last half. Just saying. Lots of big chest puffing, self-importance things going on. Now, what will also happen that we can expect towards the last half of the month is we can also expect some cracks in the ceiling, as it were. So a break up of impasses, right? So breaking apart and breaking apart obstacles. So there are a lot of impasses or obstacles or things like the Muhammad and the mountain. And if the mountain won't come to Muhammad, Muhammad will go to the mountain. In this particular case, the mountain's not going to get out of Muhammad's way. So the only way through it is not over it, around it, but through it. So we're going to see a lot of cracks in the ceiling or cracks in the wall that prevent us from getting from point A to point B and moving forward. So it will be testy, especially for people who are currently in positions of power, because they're definitely going to get challenged. Now, some things I would say here, with Mars and Aries setting up these squares to Jupiter, particularly the Saturn-Pluto conjunction we're dealing with in Capricorn, there is, because Mars is new things, the beginning of new things, and Capricorn is old, settled structures, right? And Saturn and Pluto have to do with control and power. So with Mars moving into a challenging aspect with that Saturn-Pluto after it hits Jupiter, there will be a lot of pushing against the existing structures and powers that be to make room for growth, to make room for us to make progress in life as a global unit, not just one place or another. And this always comes with resistance and pushback. So we have to be aware of that. And also bear in mind, in case nobody told you, Saturn and Pluto together like this brings with it a very, very heavy karmic penalty for being selfish and abusing your power in situations. So Aries and Capricorn by nature are selfish. Aries and Capricorn in square to each other makes individuals, not all of them, but some individuals, even more selfish and self-serving. So this Mars, Saturn, Pluto square in Capricorn that we're going to see towards the end of the month is really going to break the back of the beast, as it were. And I don't mean that as a biblical reference. It will break the bar, as it were, so that we can finally get through the gate, as it were. But it will come at a cost. And for people who are actively trying to take us backwards in time, actively trying to resist progress, they're the ones who are going to suffer the most. So we'll see. You got to fight the good fight, keep the good faith, right? All right, now, other things that are going on this month, also too, remember Uranus, we're still under that station. Uranus station direct last month, we're still feeling it, except now Uranus is starting to get some momentum and move forward. And Uranus always rules breakthroughs and explosions, and unexpected things. So we may still see more issues of climate change and earth shaking, things like volcanoes and earthquakes, and weather issues, sort of things going on as we move through the month. Now, when we get out around the 23rd to the 26th, it's going to get, that's what it's really going to get hopping and popping. So we have a new moon on the 23rd in Pisces. Yes. We have a new moon on the 23rd in Pisces. At the same time, Mars has moved into Capricorn just a few days earlier, but Mars is setting up some interesting aspects. And also, Venus is going to be doing some interesting stuff too. So between the dates of the 23rd and the 28th, right? Between the 23rd and 28th, I would look for some major activities that involve all of us as a global or national thing, wherever you happen to be. So things of major portent we can expect to see occur as the hammer comes down, and that's the image that we're getting here for this week, the 23rd, 26th of February, when the hammer comes down that last week of February, that's when we're going to see it. So we're all going to be feeling it. So this is going to be an interesting month. This is a great time to get out there and start reinforcing your relationships, cutting the dead weight out of your life, getting rid of toxic relationships. And for those of you who are looking for somebody, this is a great time to open your heart and turn on your love lights, you know, and to invite support in romantically, platonically. If you need friends, this is a great time to open your heart and turn on your love lights and invite friendship in. If you need to make reparations in your family with loved ones, this is a great time to bridge the gap and maybe, you know, practice a little I'm sorry, and let's let that go. And for those of you who are already in committed relationships, this is a great time to explore new ways to use some of this irritable energy, because everybody's feeling a little tense and a little agitated. But you lucky dogs in relationships with a partner that you're familiar with, there's a lot of things you can do that'll enrich both your lives and make things good. So lucky you. February 14th, Valentine's Day here in the US and maybe other countries. I don't know if they have that in other countries, something comparable. It will be interesting. Mercury will be retrograde at the time, a couple of other things going on, blah, blah, blah. So all of this is to say that make modest plans for Valentine's Day that are not terribly expensive, and certainly have a plan B just in case things fall through. All in all, this is going to be a great month. And the most important thing this month, most important thing is that this is, come closer, this is a very magical month. And there's a lot we can get done in terms of manifesting and drawing things into ourselves. So be very, very mindful of how you think, right? This is no time for cynicism. And always, 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 when you visualize and manifest these things, always leave room for the universe to bring you the best possible outcome, even if it's something you personally haven't thought of yet. Because if you could think of everything and you are so smart that you know what the best possible way to do anything was, we wouldn't need this. We would just be doing it. So partner with the universe and let the great divine bring you what you need in the best possible form available. That may even be something you haven't actually thought of yet. So it's going to be a good month. Let's get through it.